Welcome to It Happened on the Job. This is episode 30. My name is Mike. With me, as always, is Brian.
How's it going?
We are the podcast for relatable conversations with contractors, hopefully bringing a little bit of entertainment to your life as well.
Yeah. And then today we have Greg Ramirez with Rhodium Integrated Services. How you doing, Greg?
Good. How are you? How are you guys?
Great. Thanks
really
for coming
good.
on.
Thank you for coming on. Hey, give us a quick breakdown of yourself and how you came about in the business and with Rhodium in particular.
Yeah. So my name is Greg Ramirez. We've been in the industry a couple of decades in and out, different trades, different things, different businesses, different whatever you call it, up and about. 2016, my brothers and I decided to start something on our own. We were part of the trade, the union, the installation trade union for many years. Hated the ups and downs, hated the firing, hated the whatever you want to call it. So we decided to say, hey, let's do something together and see how that works out. Okay, you do the engineering, I do the work, and let's get it all together and see what it comes out to. So we went ahead and started doing, union work. We became part of the union. As you can imagine, three guys going at it with $10,000 in our pocket, thinking that we were going to do union work. That was out of our minds, right? That was
quite a few hoops to jump through there, huh?
Yeah. So, but we didn't know, right? We're thinking, okay, clients are going to pay us as soon as we're done with the work. We can turn around and buy material. We can. We don't have to pay us right now, but we can do it. That was not the case, So, and at that point, we went, you know what? What else can we do? What else can we do to bring up that cash flow? So then my older brothers said, hey, I've been doing reconstruction for a long time. I know how to paint. I know how to put carpet. Let's just go and do some reconstruction. And maybe we can bring some funds that way. So I went ahead and said, okay, let me go get the B license. So we got a license and we started doing reconstruction. Just so we can bring in some cash for our union installation work. That was it. So we started doing some reconstruction. I came about a contact in one of my friend's birthday parties, and he said, hey, what do you do? I said, I do a little reconstruction. I can paint. I can put carpet. I can do this. I said, well, we have an emergency company that do restoration for fire and water emergencies. Come by. I have a couple of jobs you guys can start. I didn't think he was serious. I said, hey, I'll give you a call. And then he called me the day before. I mean, the day after. He said, hey, how come you haven't called me? But I need you guys out there. I said, okay. So I went by to see him, and he had a pile of folders. And he said, well, I need you guys' help. I have a whole bunch of jobs that I need to get done. And it's still at this point, I'm thinking, okay, let's see how serious this guy is, or how serious we are to take over some projects. For this.
Right.
It was the opposite.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Right. So little by little, that connection. I think it was late 2017. That connection went into bring us, I believe it was $1.7 million in 2018.
All right.
So as you can imagine, that's where we started from installation. Let's do a little bit of reconstruction. We dove into that partnership with this person and that company, and we just took it from there. Right? We took it from there. So now we do a whole lot of restoration, a whole lot of on that spectrum of the business.
Right.
So now for the same company now, last year, I think in 2019, we did close to $3.5 million for the same customer.
Oh, wow.
So
just working exclusively with them, or do you guys take some outside jobs as well? Or
primarily it was them in 2017, 2018, 2019. Other companies were not taking us serious still. They were like, yeah, I know you guys are doing reconstruction, but I don't know how serious or how well you guys are. And then we started reaching out to other customers. But our main customer for restoration is that company. Wow. So then on 2019, we were thinking, okay, now we have a little bit of cash flow. Let's go back and do more mechanical installation. And then we got a little bit over our heads, and we started doing. So my brother was like, well, I used to do a scaffolding. Can we go and get somebody else to help us with the scaffolding? We have a little bit of cash flow. Let's just do it. Let's do it. We always wanted to have a scaffolding company too. let's just go out and get somebody to help us out to do estimates and bring somebody in there. So we went ahead and brought someone in mid 2019 to help us with the scaffolding. And that's what we are right now. We are doing reconstruction, mechanical installation, and a scaffolding. And it's the installation and scaffolding is all union work. The reconstruction is not union.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we went ahead of our heads on a lot of these fields, and we paying the consequences in a good way, not in a bad way, a good way. That's all growing pains.
Yeah. It's just still you and your brothers running the company.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you guys split it up where one of you kind of takes the reconstruction and another one with the scaffolding and
it's always been it's always been like that. I'm always been the sort of like the office, the person running the more internal processes, the financials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of my older brothers is doing the reconstruction, and the younger brother is doing the insulation. And then we brought in the other guy to do the scaffolding, but now he's not around. Yeah.
Oh, he's not around anymore.
He's not around.
Okay. But you guys are still doing the scaffolding work?
We're doing the scaffolding work. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, growing so quickly, I'm sure, obviously you mentioned growing pains. How does that correlate with finding labor and employees and bringing those guys into, I mean, I imagine there's probably some issues that have happened there as well, or maybe some lessons that you could teach others that are listening to the podcast in terms of that.
Right. Having employees, that's, I don't call them employees. I think they call, we're in the same boat with everyone. But we didn't know a lot of that internal issues that come with having, going from 1 employee to 5 employees to 30 employees. What does that mean as far as like you said, in shortage, because we can always take projects. We can say, yeah, I can do that because we did it ourselves. We can say, hey, yeah, I can paint that, before tomorrow. Right. And we did it. We could just show up with our trucks and everything. We start painting and we're done. 2:00 in the morning, we're done. We packing everything. We're going home. But when you're talking about bringing somebody else to do that kind of stuff, that kind of work, kind of schedule, now you're talking a whole different kind of works, right? But now you're talking about labor shortage. Can this guy do it? Cannot he do it? Is he able to work 2 hours overtime, right? And that's it. And we saw that as a big problem because it is a labor shortage. What you get is not always what you need and what you really want to get, but that's what's available.
Right.
So that kind of took like a life on its own. Okay, we have this on our arsenal, but what can we do, right? And if we're gonna go bid on this project, I know we can do it, but can we really have the people to do it?
Right.
And can our people learn how to improve on the system we already have, and to be able to get more work? And that's still the same shortage we're talking about. It is a growing pain, right? And especially when you're going, your check probably gonna bounce next week, but I won't tell you, right?
Just a little bit more on those employees. I know with the different kind of sectors you guys are in as far as the types of business, do you have guys that are kind of cross-trained, or do you kind of keep them in their own lane doing reconstruction employees and then the scaffold employees and so on, or how does that work out for you guys?
They're all separate.
They're all separate.
The mechanical installation had its own union. It's
right.
Union Local 16. The scaffolding it's come out of the Local 152.
Yeah, so you're just 100% union on those other sides, and then okay.
And then the reconstruction, it's its own crew.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit easier for you, I'm sure, to manage.
Yep. I mean, you can't really cross. It's
right.
Really
right. We've had some guys in the past that have been union guys, and they've kind of had some not so good things and some good things about the union. What's your experience been like with working with the union and getting guys to come in and being able to do the work that you guys need them to do?
Well, I think being with the union, it's always a big plus. I mean, that's your support. That's support. I mean, they do the training, they do they do everything else. I mean, that's your support. That's sort of like you can rely on them as having trained people, trained expertise.
Right.
That's a big partner that we can look after. The bad thing is when you start small, you call in and you get who you get.
Right.
And it's not always there's not always who you need, but they don't. Nobody wants to jump from another company to your company if they're union because you just have 2 days worth of work. They won't do it. So you have to struggle from the beginning to use what you have.
Yeah.
Right.
But then when you have enough work that you can say, you know what, I know this person wants to come and work with us. Can we get them to us, right? So then you have this conversation with the union, and then you can pretty much build your team. And then after that, the union is there to help you, but you don't really need them as far as labor.
Yeah, not a lot of turnover. You're able to keep those guys busy for a while and keep them part of the team. No, that's smart. Yeah.
As far as the labor side, right? But as a small starting up company, being union, you need a lot of cash. And when I say a lot of cash, I'm talking about, people think, I have $10,000 for union dues. Is not enough. I mean, it's you're talking about a couple, because having 5 guys on payroll for union, you're thinking, it's only going to be 40 hours a week, not a big deal. Then the 40 hours turn into 4 weeks a month, and then you got to worry about that check is going to come in, that bill is going to come in, and you have to pay it.
Yeah.
And then you go, holy cow, I need $20,000 for union dues.
Yeah.
I was counting on that. And then you have to do it because those are the people, everybody's relying on those hours to be reported for the union, for the benefits, for, Medi-Cal, whatever it is, you have to do. And I think that's the thing we didn't understand when we started too.
Yeah. So kind of speak to a little bit how you're finding guys on the reconstruction side. Are you looking for guys that have any sort of experience, in a specific, trade that maybe you don't have a lot of experience in, or are you finding guys that, don't have a lot of experience that you can train them however you want them? Or how's that? What have you found is the best solution for you guys there?
A lot of people that have come on board has been through word of mouth. Whoever's working for us and said, hey, I have this guy. It seems like you guys having no work. I can always bring it. That's always been the most efficient way.
Right.
Then they feel responsible. Whoever they bring in, that hey, you need to work this way.
Right.
That's been the case. Every time we went around and find somebody else that wasn't part of the word of mouth, we always had problems. Everybody else has have been trained on the spot. But the only trade that we, at this point, as we're moving up to bigger projects, and we're talking about 4-unit house that burned down and we need to, rebuild it from the bottom up.
Yeah. That
we are looking for more framers. And that's a little, because we don't have a whole lot of work for framers. We don't have that much work. So that's giving us a problem now.
Hard to keep a guy busy. Yeah.
Have to keep a couple guys busy, but that's the one at this point.
Yeah. So when you guys come across something like that, is that a situation where you're out there looking for maybe a subcontractor to hire in and bring and to kind of fill in the gaps of some stuff, or do you have it? You just moving guys around maybe to kind of fill those gaps, or how does that?
Yeah.
How does that work for you?
Move around, trying to bring some guys. We try to bring framers in, but it's up and down. Right? Now you're talking about fighting with other companies for that labor.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, we started to bring more framers, but still at this point, as we're moving up to bigger projects, we need that force.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
How are you guys doing with the whole COVID crisis that we're in right now? In terms of business, you grew so rapidly in 2017, 18, and into 19. Now we've hit this, social experiment, so to speak. How has that affected, maybe if you could speak to the morale of the guys that are working for you, and then just incoming projects, bidding, all that?
Yeah. Keeping guys busy.
So we were kind of dealing with the morale, from the last part of 2019, based on the person that was around from the scaffolding side, and how he pretty much took us to very, dark moments in 2019 and 2020, the beginning of 2020. So the morale on our office was still going like you guys are taking a tremendous amount of money from the reconstruction and you're dumping it over to the scaffolding. That's not fair. So, and then some of those, checks bounce. So it was based on the scaffolding side. But
Side note, I feel like at some point we got to hear this story. I feel like you're just kind of dangling a carrot here for us, teasing us.
as we moving into 2020, we're still growing, and we were still growing. Now, this whole, like you said, experiment kicked in. It gave us that breathing moment. I was like, okay, now we can actually stop a little bit and recover, right?
So it's kind of helped you out a little bit, giving you a reason to kind of slow down a little bit and kind of assess everything. Yeah,
but that only lasted a month or so. Now we're back at it again. But now with the now the morale is changing. Now that some of these guys are like, okay, we're moving on. You guys kept us working on these hard times. That's a beautiful thing, because a lot of people they didn't have.
Yeah, out of work.
We had them. We had everybody out there working, 30, 40 hours. I mean, our labor went down to probably max 70% of the original prior to COVID-19. So it's not.
Yeah, so you guys are still didn't take much of a dip there.
We didn't, and we kept on busy.
That's good.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
And are you seeing new work still coming up? I mean, are you guys still? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now everybody wants to get that stuff done.
Yeah.
Last month, right? So now we're going at it and okay, we got all these projects sitting around. Now can we get them all done?
Yeah.
So now we see that as a it's gonna be tough.
Be tough. Are you seeing most of your work come from like insurance work, from insurance claims?
For the emergencies, most of this, it's all insurance claims.
Yeah.
We're talking about just water losses and fires and you name it.
So you're not doing so much of the remediation work. You guys come in after the remediation and do all the reconstruction. Is that how it's kind of set up?
We have a little bit of both. We have
a little bit of both.
We have a team that works for our major, client. That's about 10, 15 guys working for them on a daily basis as a team. So we do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Got it.
Very cool. So what are you guys seeing kind of from a future standpoint or down the road? I mean, I know you said in the immediate future, obviously it's going to get pretty busy trying to complete all that backlog work. Do you see yourself continuing to grow on that reconstruction side? Are you trying to grow the other two sides, or how's it? What's your vision for the future?
We're still in that moment that we can say, where the hell do we go from here, right? Where do we go from here? Because everywhere, there's opportunities everywhere. You look at scaffolding, you're going like, oh man, that's a lot of opportunity. Should I go that route? Or you can go and say, okay, mechanical installation, that's a lot of opportunities. Do you go that route? And then you look at the reconstruction, you go like, I'm moving up the ladder on the reconstruction. I was a subcontractor, before, but now I know how to do this, and that. Now I can actually look at other opportunities down the line. So it overall the future looks bright for us, because because now it's a matter of using what we learned 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
The processes, our office, our personnel. Now we get to roll into a more manageable process, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So for us, now it's a matter of like, where do we want to focus? To have our resources.
Yeah, it's so funny because a lot of our guests kind of get in that situation or the reason why they're able to grow is they set up those processes and set up everything to be able to grow, which it sounds like you guys are doing and have done. I guess my question, I've got a brother. I know what it can be like to try and have a relationship with a brother. I can't imagine what it would be like to work with a brother. Is it two brothers you work with? There's three of you total?
Three. Yeah. Three.
So three other brothers, or there's three of you total?
Three of us total.
Okay, three of you total. Yeah. So, I mean, how does that dynamic work? Is it, I mean, I guess with three, it's a little bit easier, right? If one has one opinion as the other, and then at least you got a tiebreaker. But so how does that work from a management position and making those decisions and just that whole dynamic?
Yeah. We always get that feedback. Everybody's like, I will kill my brother. And then so the whole question is, how did you guys have been doing that, right? And then we go to our big client, and they're like, it looks very nice because I'm not just dealing with one person. I'm dealing with three people they can actually go after. I can ask any of the three guys one thing, and I'll get the same response. Like, yeah, labor is available, or this is available, or no, we cannot do this. So they look at it more like it's three instead of just one. The way we originally set up is again, they gave me the ability to say, you go ahead and lead this team, and whatever you think it's best for our interests, our new business, our goals, go ahead. We'll give you that support to say, you manage the money, you manage this, you manage that. You lead us to whatever it is you think it's going to be best for our team. And then my older brother says, let me do the reconstruction, do the estimating, I do the jobs, make sure the jobs are getting completed the right way. And then the other person is the same thing. If you want me to drive this, you want me to do this, I do it. I'm here to support any given time, But they come back to me and says, you take the lead, and you tell me how do you want us to work, right? So at any given moment, I say, you know what, stop doing that and just do this. We do have conflicts, but with my older brother, it's always been the same, even since we were little. We can yell at each other right at the office, not in a bad way, but then we go to my mom and have dinner,
Yeah, and everything's fine, right?
Yeah, everything's fine. Like he has hung up on me several times, but then I call him right back and says, hey, what about this thing? And he just keeps on going like, we don't take it personal. The younger guy does take it personal, and he has walked out of the office a couple of times, but give him some time and he comes right back.
You guys kind of know that chemistry between the three of you and how to navigate that.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of respect and a lot of trust there for you to, you guys trust each other, in your different roles, and and obviously it's working, right? I mean, you guys are, like you said, on the way up, and future's looking for being successful.
Yeah. There's another brother between the younger brother and myself, and he hasn't been able to work with us at all. And I have been trying to get him into working with us, and he gives up pretty quick, and he just walks away.
Doesn't want to be in it, huh?
He doesn't want to be in it, and even though he's struggling on himself on the side, he just decided, to do that and to actually work with the team. So for him, it's like, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do. So he hasn't been able to work with us at all. Right?
So what does mom make for dinner when you guys go over for dinner?
Anything. And he's always makes soups. We always lost for the soups.
Yeah.
Shrimp soups. I don't know, all the stews, man. She kills me on that.
I feel like I need to get in a fight with you just so I can come over for mom's dinner. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, you can work it out, and then I'll sit down and dine together.
Yeah, we used to work out of her house in the beginning, and she kind of brought us. And he's like, "Come on, get something to eat." And then at some point, we start arguing about work, but not arguing, but just talking about work.
Right.
It lasted a couple of weeks. A month went by, and then all of a sudden, it's like you can start seeing like, just take this shit somewhere else. Yeah,
just get out of the house.
You don't have to do this here. And I was like, okay. Now we're getting kicked out of the kitchen for talking business here. Okay, that's fine. But she always trying to get us, always trying to get us to go to the house and eat.
Yeah.
Because she knows that doesn't matter what we have outside, we can always land there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Well, kind of circling back, and you had already teased me a bit when we were writing about this partnership that you had last year. If you could maybe break into that, do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Is that so? If you could just kind of, because I think these are a lot of these conversations were meant with the intention of sharing them with other contractors, lessons learned, also pushing your business to other contractors. But so we have a lot of listeners that are hearing this, and I think that it would be, and I think you're the prime example, right? You started just a few years ago, and you guys are going gangbusters, going crazy. And of course, to your point about growing pains, you're going to experience those and to a bigger degree growing so quickly. But I think partnerships are also can be kind of hairy, especially if they're outside of the family. So, and I don't know if that's the case here, but if you could kind of talk about that a bit, and
not want too much into details, but because I don't want to get too much.
Yeah, no, of course,
totally understand. Yeah.
So my brother knows this guy, or he knew this guy for decades, right? My older brother, And this person was living with us at their house back in, early 90s. And when he was barely starting to do his career, right? So throughout these years, he became a really prominent person within the industry. He has a lot of knowledge. He had a lot of connections. A lot of us worked for him back in the days. So he was a figure that my brother looked up to as far as like, one day I want to be like this guy, because this guy can get this kind of projects and can put this many people to work. And he has able to do something like this for other companies. How come he doesn't want to do it with us? Or how can we get him to do it with us?
Yeah.
And when we first reached out to him, it's the same thing. It's like, yeah, let's do it together, but I need this kind of money up front to be able to prepare my team and start bidding and start growing the business. And when we talked, when he came back and says, I need $300,000, to start. We didn't have $5,000 to pay union dues. So that was out of the question, right? Coming back 2019, we said, you know what? I think we're ready. Let's do it. So we reached out to him and brought him in. One thing leads to another. We thought it was a very good decision to bring somebody in with that kind of knowledge, with that kind of manpower and everything else. You know what? Fine, let's go all out with this guy. Bring him in. We make him a partner with everything, and we support him, right? And we had there was a lot of people that reached out to us, and at some point they were like, "How did you guys land this guy to work as a team with you guys?" Right? Because you're already saying that you want to grow this business to this level.
Yeah.
By having him around. We were thinking like, oh, that's okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's always the same thing. We get the good news, but we never get the bad news. How come we didn't get the phone call that said, hey, I work with this guy. You should look out for these things, right?
Right.
But that never happens. We always get like everybody's like, okay, fine. I know who that guy's working for you guys. Now it's working together. Well, fine. You guys are going to do well. So we gave him the pretty much what he needed, support, the cash flow that was there from the reconstruction side. And little by little, you can start seeing like this working relationship kind of like
deteriorating.
But you started seeing it more of why is he started kicking members of the team out in a different way, right? It's like, or being like, oh, you don't know what the hell you're doing, leave my job site or leave my project alone, right? So all of a sudden, he, instead of working with the team, within several months, he ended up working for him by himself,
right?
Using his own team, using all his other stuff. So then you're thinking like, maybe there's something we have to work on with it. But you know how it is in reconstruction or construction. Everything is really rapid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, weeks go by, days go by, projects will start, projects will finish, and a lot of money goes out. I mean, it's just how fast it is.
Yeah.
But for us, he started getting a lot of big projects for the scaffolding. So we're thinking like, oh man, this is good. This is really good. All I have to do is just give him the cash flow. Well, not just giving him, but giving the team the cash flow. That was my thing. Just give him the cash flow, and we should be good in the next, year or so, or next 6 months. But all of a sudden, little by little, he started pretty much ended up working for himself, by himself. He would just come to the office to pick up his check on Friday, and the rest of the week he was just on himself. He picked everybody off the team. My brother says, like, you know what? I don't want to work with you, brother. I don't want to work with this worker. I don't want to work with that person. Fire this person. I don't want him to work with me. Fire the admin person because she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. So all of a sudden you're thinking like, what's going on here? How come he instead of training people to build his company better, he's kicking everybody off the team? And I thought it was more like, hey, slow down, homie. Instead of yelling at us because we're not submitting paperwork the right way, how come you don't train us? Instead of hitting us in the back of the head because we don't know how to do it.
Right.
So then he pretty much ended up working long hours for himself. But it was pretty much unproductive work because you're not training people. You're not training the stuff to help you with the stuff that is repetitive or the building, all this, right? So little by little, we started seeing those problems. And then later on that beginning of 2018, some of these projects will start ending. Some of the projects that started on 2019 will started, coming back as a complete project. And then you're starting to see just losses everywhere. right? And then you go back and says, hey, what happened here? And what happened here? What happened here? And he's still going like, oh, you just don't know how to read the financials on these projects. And I'm like, I don't have to. Like I'm doing, you know,
1 + 1
This number is
2.
bigger than this number, and that's not good.
that's not good, right? So you think you're spending this much money on payroll, you're gonna run out of. You're pretty much going to go through what the project is estimated just on payroll.
Yeah.
And it's like, what happened to the material? What happened to everything else, man? Oh, no, yeah. All this and all that. And little by little, it became pretty much, you know, clear that one, he was giving away work, right? Based on what he was estimating out there. I guess he's thinking about it. If I get the job, who cares how I do it, right?
Right.
Everybody knows that if you go chip in any job,
you're going to get it. Yeah.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
The staff is going to get it. The office is going to get it. The employees are going to get it. And we're not going to bring in the cash, period. So that kind of started. I started putting pressure on him, how he was doing the projects. And it became pretty much evident that he was in a whole different level of the mind. He was saying, you know what, I want to be the boss. I wanted somebody to call me serve here, serve there. But now when it came down to actually be productive on the projects, right?
Right.
So then, he went out and did a lot of his projects very low. I'm talking about low. And then he turned around and trying to do a whole bunch of change orders to the clients. And you know what that means?
Oh, yeah.
That means is
increase the cost. Yeah.
Clients is like red flags everywhere.
Yeah.
If you started doing change orders, clients are like, okay, maybe I should take a look more in depth about how these guys are doing. And you're asking for more travel. Now they started holding your checks. Now they started holding this because you're not. Now they're getting nervous about, is this guy's going to finish? So if they're not going to finish, I'm not going to release any money. So I'll hold the money until they finish, and then I'll pay them everything. It's a lot. It was you can tell that he wasn't in there for the right reason. He wasn't in there to get this image from the jobs and put him on LinkedIn. Oh, look at the project I'm doing.
Right.
He was all like, and some point, I remember one time he reached out and says, hey, I put the posting of the Washington project. How come you didn't give me any likes? Right. And I told him, I said, man, every time I see that project, I'm getting a freaking heartburn.
Yeah.
Right.
I think about the money we lost. Yeah.
I'm thinking about, we're down $300 on that project.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about likes. What the, it's like, no, and I was like, that's not the right way.
Yeah.
And pretty much went that route. It was like, this project lost money, this project lost money, this project lost money. What the hell is this material? What is this material? And little by little, pretty much, it took a turn really quick. And I was able to stop him at that point and says, pack your bags, you're leaving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you, like you said, were able to kind of notice it as quickly as you could and kind of help fix the situation. But I can't imagine that's something that's easy to get over in a short period of time, because like you said, those projects are still going on. And
yep. So I took over a lot of the project he was working on and went directly with the client.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're yelling at me.
Yeah.
You did this. I was like, all right, let's just work this out, man.
Yeah.
We can get through this. So he's thinking, oh, you guys as a company, you guys are this people.
Right.
And just base it on yourself.
Yeah, you got a lot of image to kind of try and help repair there and fix. Yeah.
So then you going out for them and say, okay, was this change order valid? Was this not valid? So now they're thinking, because you're trying to chase down the change orders, that it could be valid. They're going like, oh, you're coming to get me.
Right.
Push back. I'm not going to pay you. I was like, I'm just trying to figure it out what's valid and what's valid. And I just want to finish this project.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of image, a lot of things that took a bad turn. Right. Yeah. And it seems really easy to talk about it, but when the cash flow stops on these projects, everything hits the fan, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A project doesn't pay you, then you can't pay the union dues, then you can't get the labor back on. If a project doesn't pay you, then you can't pay this, you can't pay that. And you're talking about, I think we did on the scaffolding side, we did close to $2 million worth of work in probably, let's say, 8 months. So if he lost money on every single project,
it was really like probably closer to $3.5 million in work.
It could have been,
So what we had to put in from the other businesses were, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it might seem like, oh, he was just giving away work, but it backfires every single sector of the company. Labor, you can't pay your payroll taxes. You can't pay this, you can't pay that, you can't pay your vendors. And now all the vendors are like, if you don't pay me, I'm going to put a lien on this project. And we went through that. It just goes very, very bad, really, really fast.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that would have ended a lot of companies. So congratulations and good on you for surviving that. And it'll come out better and smarter and tougher for all that.
Yeah. And the funny thing is now the people that had been involved with this person in the past, now they're reaching out.
Where were you a year ago?
Yeah, I heard about this and I heard about that, and you don't have to tell me, but I'll tell you how it went. And I said, well, where the hell were you 6 months ago?
Yeah, right.
Where were you 6 months ago, right? I'm talking about this guy, when I started putting pressure on him about the jobs and I was like, at one point I was like, I'm going to find you somewhere. Where the hell are you? Either you're going to be in the San Francisco office or you're going to be in this office. But I need to talk to you about how we're going to move this thing around. All of a sudden, I'm putting pressure on him. He's like, oh, how are you going to answer the phones? Because I've been in the hospital with that. I had a breakdown and
anxiety attack or something.
Yeah, I had a heart attack. So now he's like, now he can't respond. And then later I find out that it's like, in the past, he has had heart attacks every time people confront him on that route. I was like, that's just a strategy of how you
just go to. Yeah.
Right. So now he's trying to, sue me for, mental distress and stuff like that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You just, but that's his style.
Right. Yeah.
You look at over at the whole entire picture. For us, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
But we have gotten that feedback. Feedback is more like, how did you guys survive? Because I think you guys are going to be out of the business by now.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that's could have easily crippled any other company.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Are you guys still doing the scaffolding side of the business? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's going to grow. That's going to grow.
Yeah.
That is going to grow because it's a business that we learn and a business that we can improve on. And it is a specialty. It's a niche industry. So it is very hard to break into. Very hard because it has that horrible high cost to get into it. But once you get into it and once you learn the whole ins and outs, that's a lot of work out there. That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll let you get running so we don't take up too much of your time. But before you go, we want to give you an opportunity to kind of let the people know where to find you, how they get a hold of you, and all the different companies and what you guys do.
So we do, like I said, mechanical installation for HVAC and plumbing companies. If you guys are out there, need any mechanical installation, give us a call. Visit our website at rhodiumis.com. It's RHODIUMIS.com.
Perfect.
Scaffolding, same thing. Any scaffolding projects you guys have coming up, let me know. As far as the reconstruction side, if you have facility management, you need any help with your facilities, we're here to help.
Awesome. And it's all the same website?
It's all the same website. Yep.
Perfect. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Greg. Appreciate your time today, and we look forward to putting this up and have people
keep it in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing I want to mention: this is my first podcast. So
well, welcome.
All right.
Congratulations.
Hopefully, I did pretty well.
Oh, you did great.
You did great, man.
I would have never known.
You did great.
Yeah.
So, I feel like we say this on every episode, but it's way more entertaining and valuable if you're speaking and we're just asking questions. And you did a great job. So really appreciate that.
No, thank you so much, man. That was great.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Well, enjoy the day. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch up.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Greg. Have a good one.
Thanks, Greg.
Hey, thanks for listening. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and give us a like or 5 stars or whatever means you like us.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. And check out our website for more video content and extras.
While you're there, shoot us a message if you want to be a guest. We'd love to have you on.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.